Okay, so I've recorded this video about 4 times because I'm a little upset and I got too long-winded on the last few. So I just got out of a meeting with someone I consider a friend who's a lovely person, does so much for her church, her friends, her kids, mankind, humanity. She's just an amazing person. And she lost her husband 8 months ago. She is just right this second literally becoming a client of ours. And in looking at all her assets and the way everything's titled, I found an account that was in his name only. And when he passed away 8 months ago, even though she's the beneficiary, they're not going to give her that money. And she's asking me why that is. And I said, well, because in every state I've dealt with, and I confirmed this with 2 or 3 attorneys while I was sitting with her just to make sure I wasn't crazy. And they all said, yeah, I've never seen that. And that you don't probate an asset that is in the deceased spouse name only. So just to say that 3 times, if your spouse passes away today and the asset is in their name only, and in this case, a bank account, it is likely going to go through probate. Now, the only time we've ever seen that not happen is in Pennsylvania. If the account's under like $10,000, you can probably get around it most of the time. But in this case, she's not in Pennsylvania and the account's about $80,000 and it was in his name only, but it was the income from all of their rental properties, and they have many. And he just had it in his name only because he went and set it up. They never changed it. And in all this time, the estate planning firm that she's working with, that she's paid more money to this estate planning firm, and it's a big firm who is, in my opinion, more than qualified to give her good advice. She's paid more to them than clients that have 20 or 30 million who've done very complicated estate planning. And she didn't get good planning, and her advisor never even looked at her asset titling, which I can't explain to you. But what I'm trying to tell you is, if you have an asset today that is in your name only, and you want it to go to your spouse when you pass away, aside from a retirement account, okay, retirement accounts have to be in your name only because they are individual retirement accounts, or 401ks or 403bs, etc. Those go to beneficiaries, okay, by beneficiary designation. And I know I said this in my estate planning mistakes video, but somehow I've run into this 4 times since then, and everybody acted like they didn't know what I was talking about. If you have an asset besides a retirement account that is in your name only, and in this case that I'm telling you about, a bank account, it is going to go through probate if you pass first, because your spouse may be the beneficiary, but they have to go through probate to get that asset because it was not jointly held, okay? And that's true in most states. Okay, so I'm not giving you legal advice. I am not an attorney. I'm not qualified to give you legal advice, but I've been through this with a lot of people. And I'm telling you that it's very important that not only you review all your asset titling. Don't just go to your estate planning attorney and say, here's my 3 biggest accounts. Talk about all your accounts. For me and my clients, I have literally a spreadsheet that my staff creates of every account, even if we don't manage it, so that we can help them. We can guide them. We can give it to their estate planning attorney and say, here's all the client's assets. How are we titling these? And they're saying, well, client, what's your goal? Good. Based on the client's goals, here's how we're going to title them, and here's why. And the client's like, that makes sense. Great. That doesn't cost tens of thousands of dollars. And this poor client has spent a lot of money with this law firm, and they have let 8 months go by since he's passed, and they haven't even started the probate process because I didn't know about this account. Well, that's your job. Your job is to ask her for a list of assets and do a darn good job on titling them. Okay. So my point to you is, sit down. If you're a financial advisor, and I don't mean broker or insurance agent or the guy that sold you long-term care or life insurance, I'm talking about your fiduciary who's doing your holistic planning. They should be helping you with this, because like for us, I sat down with a client CPA last week and I'm explaining IRA laws and rules to the CPA. It is that financial professional's job to quarterback the plan, to grab everything, your estate planning, your tax planning, your investment strategies, your alternative investments, your businesses that you own, and do a good job bringing everything together, because real planning is cohesed. Everything goes together. So again, I just wanted to bring up this exact example that I ran into this weekend. It just was heartbreaking for me, because she doesn't need that money to live on, but it is a very key part of her current income plan. And it's what he told her she could live on. Well, She planned what she was going to do with the rest of everything else. But I'm telling you, in her state, and I've seen probate in her state, it's going to take somewhere between 8 and 16 months. And it's going to cost some money. And it shouldn't have. It could have been easily avoided. And again, her law firm didn't even start the probate process. So we're 8 months down the road and she has to start the clock today. Okay. It's a headache. It's a hassle. And in her case, it's going to cost money. And there's lots of steps to it. It's not simple. In Pennsylvania, probate's not complicated. In many other states, it is. So every state's different. But my point is, review your planning. Look at everything and make sure you're discussing it. It is worth spending a couple $1,000s to do all your planning and to do it right. I implore you, for the people you love, for your spouse, for your loved ones, just sit down. I mean, I just recently updated all my planning and it took maybe 4 hours to confront the whole thing beginning to end. And I have little kids and businesses. So you all can do it too. And if you have questions, just reach out to us. We are happy to help you.